from Sam and Cliff and Phil. It's a nice little stack of books, and I can't tell you what came from who.
My friend Jeff's backstage.
All right, give me a second, and I'll bring him on. How you doing, Jeff?
What's happening, y'all?
Hey, man.
Not much. Going through this giveaway thing that I won from the Council of Comics.
Sorry to interrupt you there. My timing is impeccable.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Story of my life.
I just seen one book in here that he's probably already got it, but I'm pretty sure that
just a cheeseburger.
I'm pretty sure that Mike's going to
animal style.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to make sure I did this where they weren't out of order. All right. So first we have, and if there's any key significance to some of these books and I don't know it, y'all can let me know. First off, we have, X Factor #1, which is the first appearance of X Factor. First appearance of, I believe, Rusty Collins.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
I believe that qualifies as a key.
Yep. We've got, and I think these first ones are from Cliff. I knew that for sure. We got issue 1 of Spider-Man Punisher Family Plot. And then issue 2. I'm having to hold these things up because like I said, it's a big stack. That's what she said.
So is this all stuff you got off a claim sale from Cliff, you said?
No, I won this on the Council of Comics member giveaway.
Oh, okay.
And this is just from Sam and Phil and Cliff.
He's got more coming from C-Bizzle.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a huge giveaway.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah. We got Dick Tracy.
Oh, right.
I think they said that, the member giveaway was like 30-something books, and then the subscriber giveaway was like 50. Number 2 of Dick Tracy. Got number 3.
Oh, wow. Number 4.
4. And then number 5. Now, I've never heard of this series, but I'm going to check it out. It's called Cal, 1964, issue 1.
Never seen that.
I guess it's from Image Comics.
Yeah. Looks like it's got something to do with like history or something.
Yeah. I'm not sure what issue this is. This may be issue 1. I'm not sure, but we got Violent Flowers.
Violent Flowers.
That's pretty cool. Then we have a J. Scott Campbell cover of Magic for X-Men #2.
Nice.
That is cool.
Violent Flowers sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
Free Comic Book Day from EC Comics Blood Type.
Nice. I love all those painted covers.
Oh yeah. Evil Max says Violent Flowers is good.
Can be.
And then we've got the 1 in 25 variant for Superman Son of Kal-El #1.
Nice.
All right. And then we've got 3 books in succession. We have Fantastic Four 347.
That's Arthur Adams covers, I think.
Yeah, they may be. I know this is the first appearance of Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Hulk as a new FF. There's part 1. Got 348.
Yeah, that's Arthur Adams.
Yep. And 349. We got Wolverine Saga Book 1.
Oh, cool.
We got Book 2. My big old finger's blocking the cover. We got Book 3.
That's a cool cover.
Then we got they're all
nice shirt, by the way.
Here. Oh, thank you. Ghost Rider 26, guest starring the X-Men where they're fighting the Brood. And 27. And I was really hoping he'd have put issue 1 in here, but this is still cool. We've got Ghost Rider 2099 number 1.
Cool.
I mean, number 2, excuse me, not number 1. Number 3. Number 4.
Okay.
And number 5.
Hmm.
Then we've got a Batman Day edition of, Batman Day edition of Batman Year 2. I believe it's issue number 1. And it's funny because I've got Batman Year 1 and Year 3. I need to get Year 2. And then we have Batman and Robin Year 1. I think this is also for Batman Day. I'm almost done. We got 3 more. We've got from
rush.
Boom Studios, Behold Behemoth number 5.
Oh, Behemoth.
That's kind of cool.
From DC, we have Infinite Crisis issue number 7.
Oh, right on.
And the last issue of the giveaway from Marvel Comics, we have G.I. Joe issue 66.
Mike Zeck.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So yes, as Sam puts it, that is what I got from the world's greatest giveaway from the world's greatest YouTube channel.
That's a pretty fat giveaway.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right.
and I still got,
Good.
like I said, I still got a few books coming from C-Bizzle. And here's the irony of the thing. I was telling the guys backstage, like I said, I wish I could transfer my luck of winning giveaways to lottery, because today I'm showing off what I won from the Council of Comics. Cool. And on the day I'm doing this live show, I go watch Only Slabs and I win a giveaway on Only Slabs.
Right on.
So, yeah, I would really like to, I ain't trying to be picky or nothing, but I'd like to win a little bit of money to, rebuild my house. That'd be nice. I don't want to be insanely rich. I'm not when I was a kid, I was like, oh yeah, I want to win $300 million so I can sit on my ass and not do nothing. I just want to win enough money to fix my house, fix my car where I can go to work, and just get by. I don't want to sit at home, because I have a firm belief, and this is my own belief, that if I've seen a lot of loved ones, family members, and friends that when they hit that retirement age, and Jeremy's going to know what I'm talking about, it seemed like as soon as they hit that retirement age, as soon as they retired, a few years later, they were gone. They just sit at the house, and they were gone.
You gotta stay active.
Yeah. I always tell people I have to work till noon on day of my funeral. So I mean,
That is the truth. If you don't transition into something else that keeps you moving somewhere, even if you go get a part-time job that you want to work at, not because you need it, or a hobby that keeps you getting out of the chair and moving around.
yeah.
If you just turn into a sedentary bump on a log because you're like, well, I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm just going to surf the net, watch TV, whatever. Not good for you. Not good for you at all.
Well, guys, I want to take a minute. He's backstage. Ain't no telling how long he's been waiting. But it's been a long time. But finally, from the spiral dimension, we have the Mal himself, Dr. Von Hoot. How you doing, brother? I almost
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
I almost feel like you should read an
I'm
excerpt
well.
from Grease 2.
Unfortunately, my computer is just acting up, so I'm on my phone at the moment, so I probably sound awful. But I'm here.
You look fantastic.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Are you getting any echo or anything? Because I don't usually do it this way around.
No, it sounds
I
fine.
feel like I need to put this back on now.
Oh, very good.
You look like the a British price variant of a Mark Spears cover.
Oh, that's a hell of a compliment.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
Jeff,
what we-
man, you know.
I was just watching you take through that giveaway win, Tony. That was awesome. In the
Thank you,
back.
sir. I was going to say me and Jeff are the only ones that are not wearing masks, But if I say that, that's an insult to Mr. Von Hood himself because he has often said many
He's a
times
mouse,
he
so
is
he doesn't
not
have to
wearing
wear a
masks.
mask now.
Yeah, exactly.
I can run you over my other mask, and you can wear that one.
I'm still trying to find Laurie Strode. I just want to talk to her. I don't know what the big deal is.
My
They're
face is
freaking
my
out
face
on
is scary enough as it is. Boo.
She's doing Activia right now. Is that what it's called?
Oh, I thought it looked better if the shades on, though. I guess.
There you go.
Now you got like a
Hold on.
Making it
Jack
look better.
Jack Nicholson, Mike Myers.
I'm a cool Mike Myers now. I got my
Oh yeah, with the shades.
Yeah, baby.
You can't handle the knife.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can stab. Okay, sorry.
So, gentlemen and mouse,
Mhm.
who wants to? We're going to talk about horror films. I know I've got a crap ton of stuff to show off if y'all want to see it. I know Matt's got some stuff he wants to show off. You want to show some stuff off before we talk, or we want to talk a little bit before we show some stuff off? Or what's
Let's
up?
talk a little bit. That's what
All
I
right,
say.
so
I vote for talk.
now I have a connoisseur of slasher films here that he could correct me if I'm wrong when I say this, when I go on my little monologue. Slasher films have been around for a very, very long time. They didn't start with Halloween, although Halloween made them more prominent. But the first visions that I think of for slasher films is like Psycho, the original Psycho. They
Yep.
count that as a slasher film. And then as you progress through the years, there's movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Murder on the Bay, or also known as Twitch of the Death Nerve, which is
A Bay of Blood. You mean?
Bay of Blood. That's what it was. Bay of Blood. You're right. Or it's also known. I knew it as Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Yeah, I think it was the U.S. title was Twitch of the Death Nerve. So
I was watching a Friday the 13th documentary. I think his name was Jason. They mentioned Twitch of the Death Nerve. Oh, I got to watch this.
Yeah,
where they were inspired from some of their kills.
Yeah, they swiped a bunch of the deaths directly from it. It's clear as day.
What was you saying, Matt?
There were some movies like before that, like even at the same time as Psycho, like Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where it's got kind of a slasher feel to it. He's hunting these two kids down, these two orphans, and they're like escape from the whole night. And then the Hammer Studio, Hammer Films. Some of those movies, I don't know, DVH. What do you think? Some of them had kind of a slasher kind of feel to it.
I think some of the Amicus films is more in line with slasher. Peeping Tom, I think, is widely regarded as one of the originals as well, which was Robert Powell directed it. I think he was blacklisted after it because it was quite controversial. It was a great movie. It's really worth a watch.
Black Christmas. Yeah. I don't remember when Black Christmas came out. It was 75.
I think it came out in 75.
Yeah, Black Christmas is before Halloween, but far off that. And you can make a strong argument for Black Christmas being the original slasher in the fully formed sense. I mean, that's pretty iconic.
Until Matt was mentioned it when he was giving his advertisements for his good cinema on Poltergeist. I didn't realize Poltergeist was directed by Tobe Hooper. So
I mean, yes, there's a lot of controversy around that because it's often suggested that Tobe Hooper didn't actually direct as much as he sort of stood there while Steven Spielberg did. But we'll
kind of like the manager.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing was, Spielberg was under contract for Universal, and he was in development with E.T., the extraterrestrial, and he had to sign in the contract with Universal that he could not work on any other movie at the same time. So he had Toby direct that, but he was on the set every chance he could get, like when they're doing like a setting up, and he would, and actually Toby would defer to him, although he gives Toby credit for being the director of the movie. But there were a lot of people. There was actually an investigation by the Directors Guild of America, and they actually fined them like, was it like $50,000 or something like that? And but they still insist that Toby was like, but like especially, but also if you think about it, like when he was there at Industrial Light and Magic, Spielberg was the one there overseeing all all those practical special effects they had to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And of course, we all know in 1978, John Carpenter would release his little film called Halloween that would just basically, I ain't gonna say kickstart, but reinvigorate the whole slasher phenomenon, which led to like, Friday 13th, Sleepaway Camp, April Fool's Day. The clones started coming.
My Bloody Valentine, even Tom Hanks, even a young Tom Hanks was in a slasher film where he was like a college professor that was studying like violent criminals or something. I can't remember the name of it though. But yeah,
I've got it somewhere. Hang on. Oh, that's really going to annoy me. I'm just going to look it up because that'll drive me nuts.
I'm doing it too.
But and then I realized there's some movies when
He Knows You're Alone.
He Knows You're Alone.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah, it came out the same year as Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
And then, Friday the 13th kind of like Halloween was like the birth of it, really, for like the restarting it. But then almost you could argue Friday the 13th kind of kicked it into overdrive. You know what I mean? Because then there's like they did one right after the other almost. 83 and 87 were the only years in the 80s that there was not a Friday the 13th movie released.
Oh, yeah. It was a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole kickstarting all the clones that come after it was after Friday 13th, not Halloween.
Yeah.
But and to be honest, I say clones, but some of those so-called clones were actually pretty good. I remember April Fool's Day, My Bloody Valentine. I'm gonna admit, I loved Sleepaway Camp when I was a kid, and I hadn't seen it in 30, 40 years, and I went back and watched it this time. I don't think it holds up like it did back in the day.
I've never been a fan of the first one, but I quite like the second one. The third one was cut a lot, unfortunately.
I don't remember the other ones, but
of course, everybody remembers the shock ending at the end of Sleepaway Camp. Obviously,
yeah. Dude, I think that's why it's fondly remembered. It's from that ending rather than the rest of the film. Because Tony's right; it's not that good a movie.
No, honestly, it's not. Also, we've got Prom Night is another one. I think we might have mentioned it already though. But there were so many and then they started doing like the all those were theatrical releases, but then they started doing straight to video ones, and some of them get really, really like by the mid '80s,
like
really gory.
Richard,
you know what I mean? Like really just
Richard Meyer stuff.
Play into it, and the fact that like Roger and Ebert did an hour-long special episode of their show complaining about these movies and saying they needed to be banned and like all this crazy shit and like. Wow. And it actually did the reverse effect. It made other people go, well, hell, I want to watch that. And then you also have these like some of these hardcore movies like Eating Raoul. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. No. But it's wild. I think it's an older movie. I think it was the 70s. I can't remember exactly when that came out, but they're like eating their neighbors or something.
Jeff, what did you suggest? I heard you say something. What did you suggest?
Oh, I forgot what I said.
Sorry.
What did I say? Wasn't that part?
when Matt was talking about the crazier ones that are out there,
some of the what's his name? Russ Meyer? Didn't he make a couple of campy slasher films?
Not really. Russ Meyer was more the
boobies.
They're like nudie crime movies, mainly.
Well,
I didn't know.
When Matt mentioned that about some of them went a little out there, the movie I'm going to mention, honestly, would probably be more of a porno than a slasher flick. Porno. That is Microwave Massacre.
I mean, that's
Microwave Massacre.
It's a terrible movie. Is what it is. Like it's really bad.
Well,
but
Jeremy, you got this guy. You got this guy. I believe he worked at a construction site. It's been so long, I'm probably going to get the plot wrong. But he worked at a construction site, and he would go out and get these hookers, and he'd kill them, bang them, and then he'd cut them up and serve them to his friends as meals from his microwave.
You kill them first before you bang them?
Yeah, he killed him first before he. I believe it's been so long, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But,
I have it on Blu-ray, and it's a terrible, terrible film. I don't think it actually qualifies as a slasher movie. It's more like a serial killer sort of thriller that's so badly done it's embarrassing for everybody. It's not good.
My buddy Tim says, ironic that Roger Ebert wanted to ban slasher movies, being he wrote Beyond the Valley of the Dolls movie, which in my opinion was complete.
And that's why he was a critic and not a successful screenwriter. He also had the ones that went some people would say they went maybe too far, but I don't know if they did, but I don't know if too far is actually a thing with these movies, but like Slumber Party Massacre and
that was Roger Corman, wasn't it?
Spit on Your Grave.
Roger Corman made a handful.
Yeah.
Slumber Party Massacre is pretty good.
I don't know how they.
Yeah, I love Slumber Party Massacre.
I don't know the criticism. I don't get the criticism about I Spit on Your Grave though as being misogynistic because these guys attack this woman and she kills every single last one of them in that movie.
Yeah, so that's more of a revenge.
It's kind of like an empowerment and revenge movie,
Yeah.
I think in that case specifically, it's the graphic and detailed scene at the beginning that people have a problem with. It's not really the murdering and stuff that happens after.
All the degrees of I almost said the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
No.
And again, I would argue that isn't a slasher movie as well, just because that's more of a revenge movie. Yeah.
Evil says Ebert and Roger were not great at movie reviews. They were Karens from their time. That's true.
They kind of were.
So, guys, let's talk a little bit about slashers. Can you remember the first slasher movie you ever watched as a child?
Friday the 13th, part 1.
Yeah, that was probably.
I'm sorry, part 2. I think it was part 1 or Friday the 13th was the very first one I watched.
Does Nightmare on Elm Street count?
Yeah.
Elm Street.
Fourth one was my first one.
Absolutely.
Mike says his first one was Halloween. That was my first. That was my first one. I hope I get the year right. Was 81 when Halloween 2 come out?
Sounds right.
Well,
70,
I'll just say
79.
Yeah, 78 was Halloween. I want to say there was a couple of years before they did Halloween 2 because while they were trying to do Halloween 2, they had somebody. I think Rick Rosenthal directed part 2 because John Carpenter was trying to oversee Halloween 2, but he was directing the theme. So
the original Halloween, John Carpenter, came out in 1978.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is about the time that Halloween 2 was released to theaters, I wanted to see it so bad. But I hadn't seen the first one. And keep in mind, I'm 8 years old. So my mom and them took me to this little drive-in where they were playing the new Halloween 2, but before that, they played the first Halloween movie. Back to back.
Yes.
So by the time the first movie ended, I was scared out of my freaking 8-year-old mind. And I had nightmares for a long time. But it was still cool. I mean,
did you end up watching the second one while or did you have to go home?
Oh no, I watched both of them.
Okay.
and then years later. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to ask if anybody had seen this one. It's called where it's like a World War II veteran catches his wife cheating on him, and he kills her, and her boyfriend, and then he comes back 35 years later and starts killing these teenagers. It's called The Prowler.
Oh yeah, the Prowler is a classic. That's Tom Savini did this special effects in the Prowler. That's I think it was directed by Joe Zito, wasn't it? Joseph
Zito. Yeah.
My buddy Tim says Halloween was his first one. Oh, go ahead, Jeff. I
want to
I'll
ask.
just read the comments. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to ask you specifically, Tony. For me, as far as Halloween slasher films, Halloween reigns supreme for me. It's the number one on my list. It's the best one I've ever seen. It's the one that made me the most scared as a kid, because I'll never forget in the beginning where it's all dark and stormy and raining, and they're driving in that station wagon. And I remember them station wagons because that's what I rode around in as a kid. As a kid. And the headlights are pulling up on the mental institution, and you just see all these random people in those gowns just kind of Thorazine shuffling around. You know what I mean? Which means the loony bin got busted open, and that in and of itself made me like, oh shit, all the crazies are free and roaming. So it wasn't so much like the same type of fear of some crazy hockey mask guy with an axe. That was scary too, and I loved it, but it wasn't Halloween scary, because Halloween was kind of a possibility.
The one that disturbed me the most as a kid was actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because just the way that Tobe Hooper did that movie, it's almost like you're watching. It feels like at some points you're watching a snuff film.
Yeah, it feels more documentary-ish. I mean, it's because it was shot on 16mm and it's all grimy looking. I agree with that. Although I didn't see Texas Chainsaw till much later. Like I was probably in my late teens, like 18, 19. So I'd already watched all the Friday the 13th.
I was way too young to be watching it, DVH.
Well, like as a kid, I was the one that was hunting down all these movies as much as humanly possible out of all my friends, because I just loved them. Part of the problem with being in the UK and these movies is they were often quite cut in the 80s and 90s. It wasn't until the early 2000s where everything became completely uncut. And we get the same versions that you would get, basically.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to bring that up to you. I was watching a documentary about like the history of horror movies, and in Great Britain there were movies like not just like slasher films, but like when Clockwork Orange came out, they banned it. It was not even allowed to be shown in the 80s or the 70s until like way later on. So there was a wave of that going on, right, in Great Britain, where a lot of the movies were like cut out, or like some.
Basically, we have a regulatory body, a bit like the MPAA, called the BBFC, and the difference between the MPAA and the BBFC is there's a legal mandate that says it's illegal to sell the product if it doesn't go through the BBFC. So they have all the power in that case. Basically, you legally have to get it sent through the BBFC, get a rating, and then it's allowed to be shown in this country. Now, in the 70s and 80s particularly, and a little bit in the 90s, it was run by one guy who was very, very puritanical and would cut everything to ribbons. I mean, just everything. Like, it got so silly that I think it's Ninja Turtles 2 came out here and was cut because if you had nunchucks in your movie, it was an automatic 18. Basically, 18 is R rating / NC-17. Like, it's that rating. Oh, wow. So they had to trim out the nunchucks, which weren't even nunchucks. They were sausages being used as nunchucks. It was that freaking ridiculous. So, horror movies were butchered back in the 80s and 90s in the UK, mainly because of the video nasties and all that kind of thing that happened over here. It's a whole story. There's loads of documentaries on it, and it's quite fascinating. But it was a ball ache at the time. I'm telling you, trying to find films to watch. I mean, everything was cut. So, like, if you're imagine like Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, I'm pretty sure in the US were actually quite cut, particularly 2 and 3, because The first one they let through free, and they got a lot of awful time for that. The MPAA, a lot of people complained. Now 2 and 3 were cut to ribbons by the MPAA, and that's the version that was around forever. 2 and 3. Well, when we got it over here, it was cut even more. So whatever version you had cut, we had cut down to the point where you just didn't see a damn thing, I suspect.
And especially like Friday 13th, a lot of the producers said they were a target after the first one. So every time they were getting ready to do another Friday movie, the MPA would just say, all right, we're going to shoot 3 different versions of this kill because they're probably not going to allow the first one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through the chat real quick. Evil said his mom was a horror fan and she introduced me. She wasn't a fan of Friday 13th. I want to say hello to John's Comics with Friends. How you doing, brother? And then he mentioned The Prowler. Then we had Evil also mentioned The Creep is probably one of my favorites, Creep 1 and 2. And he said, growing up in Texas, I thought that was based on something. I'm sure he's referring to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that happened in the 60s that made it even scarier. See, I was told as a kid that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based on a true story. And, this is the 80s. You believe that shit. You had no internet to fact check stuff. You didn't know. But I'm going to tell one more story about my time through the drive-in. And I think it's one of the funniest stories one of my funnier stories. So my stepdad had a he had a Jeep CJ7. I don't know what year model it was, but he even jacked it up even a little bit higher. So we go watch Friday the 13th Part 3 at the drive-in, and that tells you how old I am. So me and my brother, Patrick, are sitting on the hood of this car with our 3D glasses on. We're making fun of all the goofy 3D stuff, right? Because, to us, it seemed a little hokey, with the yo-yo and all that stuff. And then Jason walks out of the barn with that iconic hockey mask for the first time. He levels that freaking spear gun and shoots. And when that spear comes towards the screen, I fell off the Jeep. So.
That's funny.
It was funny as hell. But
that scene's even without the 3D glasses and stuff, that scene's still pretty good. It looks like it's coming right at you.
Yeah.
That scene, and then I'm just gonna say, everybody that's watched the movie knows the scene that makes everybody, all us men, clutch down like this when we see it. Jason's, the handstand scene.
Yeah.
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 There were some great, like they were talking about that on that documentary about Friday 13th. I saw like his top 10, top 20 all-time kills, like when he squeezes the guy up in the bed. Also the one with Kevin Bacon laying in the bed smoking the joint and he sticks the arrow through his throat.
I love the Kevin Bacon death. That's really, really iconic with the spike. It's tremendous.
And of course the camper in her sleeping bag that he slams up against the tree is wild.
Y'all, we got to take a minute and say hi to Trev, the shipment guru. He says, hey, you sexy bastards.
Always a pleasure, Trev.
So
also the guy in was it the guy in the outhouse, was it part 5 or 6?
No, part 5.
Those damn enchiladas.
Yeah. And I love that actor because he was in a lot of 80s movies.
He was in Return. Was it Return of the Evil Dead?
Yeah. Or Return of the Living Dead, I think.
Return of the Living Dead. I said Return of the Evil Dead. Return of the Living Dead. Sorry.
His little brother was Reckless Reggie.
Reggie. I love Reckless Reggie.
Dude, he was cool.
Reggie was my hero back when I was a kid. I wanted to.
I was gonna say I don't remember which one it is, if it's 1 or 2, but I know the thing about the Return of the Living Dead movies. One of them had that guy, and the other one had Tom Matthews from Part 6.
I
think
when I watched Friday 13th 4, the final chapter, about 4 days ago, and I didn't see this when I was younger, but watching it now, Corey Feldman was so damn annoying in that movie that I was rooting for Jason when I was watching it the other day.
I can't think of the guy that played Jason in that movie. I keep wanting to say Ted. Is it Ted White?
I'll look it up.
I know. Roy Brooker or something played Jason in part 3, something like that. But anyway, I know he also said that little Corey got on his damn nerves. So he always tried to scare the hell out of him. Mike's saying Child's Play is up there.
Yeah.
For the Hammer scene.
I'll give you a funny Corey Feldman story. This is not a horror movie, but remember the movie he did with Tom Hanks and Bruce Dern called The Burbs?
I love The Burbs.
Yeah, that's a great movie. But there's a behind the scenes clip I've seen on YouTube. And Corey Feldman's like bouncing around and he's making all these noises when they're getting ready to do a take. And Bruce Dern just looks at him and says, "Will you shut the fuck up?"
There's a absolutely superb documentary on the Arrow Blu-ray of The Burbs, which goes into details about the whole production. And apparently Corey Feldman would bring porn stars to the set constantly and stuff like that. It was a pretty wild set to be on, by all accounts. I highly recommend that documentary.
Also, there's a documentary called Camp Crystal Lake Memories or something. It's like a 6-hour documentary or something.
Oh yeah.
The guy that played the guy that does the cocaine in the car in part 5. He said everybody, they had to do all these late hours, and like everybody except the guy that played Tommy Jarvis, because he was a born again Christian. He's kind of stayed away from everybody, and it was kind of standoffish. But every one of them were on cocaine most of the time. and Tony, Ted White was the one that played Jason in Friday 13th Part 4.
Ted White did play Jason. Okay, I thought it was him. I think he passed away. I know Brooker from Three's passed away. He passed away. One of the guys that played Jason in Part 2 passed away. Because there was like 2 people that played Jason in Part 2. There was one named Warren Gillette, and there was another guy.
And there's my 2 favorite reasons for watching Part 5, and they both belong to Pamela Voorhees.
Oh, you talking about Debbie Voorhees?
Yeah, whatever name, Debbie Voorhees, or whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Debbie because I was going to bring up a suggestion because I think Jeremy's watched it with me. I recommended it to Matt. I recommended it to DVH a while back. So anybody that's watching this, if you've never had the opportunity, there is an independent film called 13 Fanboy. And when I try to explain this, I probably don't do a good enough job. You can watch the trailers on YouTube, but you can go to streaming services. I think Tubi has it on there for free, where basically Debbie Voorhees, after Friday 13th, she became a writer, producer, and director. She makes her own movies. She made this movie, and basically they're all the stars of Friday the 13th, and I think there's one from Halloween, are being stalked by this guy that grew up in a basement, and all he had was his horror movies to keep him company. So he's stalking all these people, all these alumni from basically Friday 13th. And you get to see, and I'm probably not going to be able to name everybody off the top of my head, but like C.J. Graham's in it, Kane Hodder's in it, Laura Part Lincoln, may she rest in peace, she's in it. Jennifer Bonko's in it, Debbie's in it. Tiffany, I can't remember her last name, but she played Violet in Part 5. She's in it. I mean, just a lot.
And my girl Judy Harrison's in it.
Judy Harrison's in it from Part 4. I mean, and the girl from Part 3 that was pregnant, the only actual, I can't think of her name, but she was in it. There's a lot. Corey Feldman makes a cameo in it. I mean, there's a lot of the characters from Friday the 13th. Dee Wallace is in it. Ron Sloan from Part 5, the guy that played Junior. They hurt me, Ma.
Yeah,
he was in it. So I mean, it's a really great put together movie, and if you can actually stomach through the credits or make it through the credits, there's a nice little section that says "Thank you to our Indiegogo supporters," and my name is in the credits because I help support the movie. So I actually have a movie credit. So
that's awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
The other thing about the in Part 4, I was watching they were talking about it was Tim White actually had to jump onto the crew because the scene where Judy Harrison's in the lake in the raft, she's in a bikini and it's like 23 degrees outside. And she was like, he's like, just get this shot, guys, because she can't do this no longer. And she actually got hypothermia and was sick for like 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I believe he
Ken
told her.
saved her life probably because he's like, guys, if you're going to do it, get it done now. You know.
Yeah, I believe at that point when she was starting to get hypothermia, he said, if y'all don't pull her out of that water, I'm not filming another scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Arguably, Part 4's got the best cast. You got Crispin Glover, Judy Aronson,
Crispin Glover,
Gary Feldman. Yeah, I mean, and I like the guy says, I mean, we figure out my computer. He goes, "Yep, you're a dead pup."
Put that in your computer, Ted. And all of them's got. It seems like all of them's got some little line. And it's funny because I've been going back and watching these horror movies. Like, you know, when Matt did his bad cinema on Chopping Mall, and I'm watching Chopping Mall again, and went, hey, that's the guy that played that prick in Part 2 that was hanging upside down.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then there was another guy he was in, I don't remember what it was. And then hell, dude, even watching Once Bitten with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I noticed the guy that played, he was in Part 2, the guy that stayed at the bar and lived. He was in it. He was one of the vampires. And then there's a scene where Joey from Part 5 walks up and tries to get an ice cream bar. He interrupts, Mark and Robin in that scene. I thought was pretty cool. But you start seeing these little things. And
the girl that, Jenny, played by Amy Steele in Part 2 of Friday the 13th, she was also in April Fool's Day.
Now, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
April Fool's Day is great as well.
The most memorable part of Part 2 to me is Kristen Baker in those little short shorts and her Mickey Mouse shirt.
Mike says Frighteners is another great horror movie that counts as a slasher, sorta, but Michael J. Fox in a horror film. I love Frighteners, and of course I know we're probably not talking about everything. They did the Scream movies. As a matter of fact, I think they just wrapped filming for Scream 7 with Matthew Lillard's going to be in it. So, I mean, I think Nev Campbell's coming back for the new one. I even heard rumors they're going to make a new Scary movie with, I think the Wayans are doing it.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean,
yeah.
Because I like the Scream movies. It does kind of lose touch, I think. I like 3, but it kind of lost touch. I think 4 or 5. Is it a Scream 4 or 5 is probably my favorite one.
I think 4 is the one. 4 is the best sequel in in so much as it's the most efficient slasher movie of them.
Yeah.
I know. When it came out, it wasn't well received at all. But if you just try and boil it down to which works the best as a sequel, I think it's 4.
Yeah. I was also a big fan of Friday the 13th Part 6.
Oh,
Jason
classic.
Lives.
Absolute classic.
And even the screenwriter Kevin Williamson, who went on to write Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, said that movie was a big influence on him, the way he wrote Scream.
Yeah, Jason Lives is a favorite of mine. That actually might have been the first slasher movie I ever saw. It's possible. It's difficult to tell. I can remember exactly where I was when I saw Psycho for the first time, but otherwise, I'm not entirely sure.
I was going to say Part 6.
Church.
Do what now?
Psycho. I saw that at a. Actually, no, it wasn't a church. It was a Christian college, Williams Baptist College.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say Part 6, Jason Lives, is probably the first horror movie that I actually read the novelization of. And boy,
that's interesting.
I wish I could get a copy of that novelization, because now you can't get a copy of that paperback for under $150. And it was cool. Of course, the death. There were differences. The death of the graveyard caretaker, it wasn't in the book because that was a last minute kill. As far even the part with the 2 kids on the moped, that was a last minute throw in. They talked more prominently about Jason's father in that one.
Yeah.
in the novelization, you know, they mentioned that as soon as, you know, Pamela started freaking out and going crazy and getting into the cult, he left. He didn't want no part of that. And you find out that he has been secretly paying to maintain Pamela and Jason's graves, because he shows up at the end of the book in the graveyard, and he knows his son is not in that grave. And, you know, just little things like that. But there was one part when you read a book, it could change your opinion on something. I was always wanting a Freddy versus Jason movie. And even still, when they made it, you know, you have to just get the novelization out of your head, because there was one bold statement in the novelization that said Jason doesn't eat and Jason doesn't sleep. And I went, okay, how the hell did they do this? Because if you can't sleep, you can't dream. If you can't dream, then Freddy don't show up. Anyway, that's my monologue.
There's just so many to choose from. Even like we didn't even get in the '90s yet. Like, you know, like they kind of went downhill, the slasher films, and like, you know, I kind of saw like when it started getting kind of like bad was like, you know, Jason Part 8, and then they did the Jason Goes to Hell was not very well received really, yeah. And then
you know,
but then like Scream kind of resurrected it though in the late '90s.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, if they would have filmed Jason Takes Manhattan the way, if the budget hadn't have gotten in the way and they would have filmed it completely the way they wanted to film it, I think that would have been a better movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it was only supposed to take place for like the first 20 or 30 minutes of the movie was originally supposed to take place on the boat, and then the rest of the movie was going to be them in New York City. But budget. You know, the budget gets in the way, and you know things happen.
Well, my favorite part is Jason rope-a-doping that boxer.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He just takes all them body shots and head shots, and all of a sudden, just one punch knocks the guy's head off.
Oh hell, I love the scene where Jason kicks the jam box, and the guys go, "You're dead meat, slime bag," and all he has to do is just show me. You know. It's cool, man. It's cool. But yeah, yeah. And I've actually been, I love the fact that I actually was on a live show one time with, before I had my own YouTube channel, I was on a live show with the guy, Adam Marcus, the guy that directed Jason Goes to Hell. And that was pretty cool. To hear him talk about his visions for the movie and everything, that was pretty cool.
I know that I was so pumped at the end of it when Freddy's hand comes out from the ground and pulls the mask down.
Everybody was.
Oh, and we had to wait like so many years to see it. And unfortunately, we got what we got. I mean, it is what it is. But like, you know, it was all right.
Originally, Part 7 of Friday the 13th was supposed to be Freddy versus Jason. But things didn't work out well, so they came up with a different script. But to be honest with you, I actually love the Part 7 we got because, you know, we got Tina. You know, somebody was, I was going to say psychokinetic powers or whatever.
Telekinetic.
Yeah, basically she was Jean Grey.
Yeah.
But I always thought, man, they could have did more. They could have did more with that, you know, because I mean, let's be honest, she could have. If she, I mean, now granted the element, she was in a hysterical situation. You probably wouldn't think it. She could have freaking used him as a lawn dart and just, you know, like that. What was it? That part in Freddy versus Jason where Freddy uses Jason like a pinball machine.
I'm going to be back in about 2 minutes, guys. I've got it working finally.
Cool.
Okay.
But and 7 is probably the most heavily edited Jason movie. They said that there's so many scenes that were cut and lost that, you know, they threw the footage away. They said they wish they wouldn't have now, because they said if anybody would have seen the original uncut version of Part 7, their jaws would have hit the floor. I was gonna say, of course, that's the one where we also get the famous sleeping bag kill. And then what else was in there? The girl got the lawn dart, which was pretty funny.
So when we're talking about like individual scenes or whatever in the different slasher movies, what are some of the scenes that caused you guys the most tension? Like, waiting to see what's around the corner, or what went bump in the night or whatever.
Ooh, Matt.
Honestly, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street. That movie scared the shit out of me because the thought of being asleep in your dreams, and because there's nowhere to run if you can't wake up,
right?
And go. But also the part, like, there's two parts of the movie that really freaked me out. It's like, or three of them actually. The one where she's in the bed and his face comes through the wall. They have that latex.
Oh
wall.
Yeah.
And then the part where she's in the bathtub and it comes up between her legs, his claw, grabs her. And then when the first time you see the furnace room, the boiler room, that really just disturbed me. I need to watch.
I'm trying to think. I was going to say, I'm going to go back to Halloween. Any scenes where that really just maybe jumped, or you knew something was coming, was those little, and you don't get too many of them. I could actually use Halloween 2 as a better reference, where you see the victim, it's pitch black behind them, and all of a sudden the silhouette of Michael's mask just shows up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. And then, because that's one of the things I think that I appreciate now that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Watching Halloween, Michael's there. It's kind of like Jaws. You knew the shark was there, but you didn't know where the hell they were.
Yep.
They could have
too many shadows.
Yeah, you're like, Michael's there somewhere. Well, where the hell is he?
Yeah, and also the part where they're chasing Laurie in the house, and Jamie Lee Curtis runs up the stairs, and she thinks she's killed him, and she's just laying there, and she's like, oh, in the closet there, and she's like kind of relaxes from it, like it's over, it's finally over, and he just jumps back up, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, he does like this no arms behind his head, like set up. He sits straight up real quick.
The first one I ever saw, Friday 13th Part 1, when Alice is in the boat and she thinks it's like all calm, and then little Jason jumps out of the water. I'm like, oh crap.
The first time I saw that scared the shit out of me.
Well, going back to Friday 13th 1, I can't think of the kid that dressed up like the Indian in Part 1.
Oh yeah.
That scene. That scene where you see him go, "Hello, can I help you?" and he goes into the room. You're like, "Oh no, he's not coming out of that room." You didn't see it, but you knew he wasn't coming out of that room.
Yeah. What about you, Jeremy?
This wasn't a jump scare, but like one of the most lasting images of Part 2 of Friday 13th. Part 2 is when he he gets that guy right in the face in the wheelchair, and the wheelchair starts going down the steps.
Yeah, we can go small for sure.
Oh man, that's wild.
So, Jeremy, what do you think?
I'm thinking, I don't know I forgot which Nightmare of Elm Street it is. The one where they're in a hospital and dudes. I just remember the scene. I was like a little kid, and he was walking through the halls, and he had blood coming out of the hands stuck to the wall.
3. That's 3.
Yeah.
Dream Warriors.
Talk about the one where you use the kid as a puppet?
Yeah. That and the roach scene from 4.
Well, Jeff, DVH wasn't here when you asked the question. You want to ask him that question so he can answer?
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask. As a kid watching these different slasher movies, what are the scenes that gave you the most like anxiety, gave you the most suspense, like tension?
Okay, I'm nearly immune to that kind of thing. Like, I never got freaked out at all as a kid, except one time. I was, I don't know, I must have been about 12, something around that age. I'm at home alone, and I'm watching, actually a terrible movie, Halloween Part 6. The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It's not good, but for some reason in our house we had a patio doors, like really wide patio doors and massive curtains, and the curtains were open, like wide open, and it was dark, and I was on my own, and there's just there's a scene like there always is in Halloween movies where Michael is just stood behind like washing that's been hung out to dry, and and it just really creeped me out that one time because I'm looking outside, I'm trying to think, is there somebody out there? There could be, I don't know,
Right.
And it just there's nothing to it really. It wasn't about the kills or anything. It was more the effect of the atmosphere in that scene, and that's what I go to those movies for. That sort of slight adrenaline that you get where you feel a bit creeped out. But generally speaking, it just doesn't work very well. I just love the entertainment. It's like a roller coaster ride.
Have you ever seen the alternate version of that movie? It's called The Producer's Cut.
Yes, yeah, I've got that. Yeah,
it kind of explains more.
It's very interesting how different that movie is.
It's just night and day because the guy that did the movie was like, he really didn't have any control. He had no choice. There's like, we'll just find somebody else if you don't want to do what we want you to do.
Yeah.
And of course, you got people like the notorious Harvey Weinstein and his brother producing that movie, and they're notorious for being like real a-holes to people.
Yeah.
But okay, I got a question for everybody. What is the biggest twist you ever remember? Like, how, like when we find out like the reveal at the end of Sleepaway Camp, or like when we find out that it's this person that's killed him is Jason's mother is the killer of the first one, or how they have like a big reveal or something, like you find out Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' sister.
I mean, a large percentage of slasher movies are sort of whodunits, aren't they? So it's a standard plot point where you eventually find out who the killer is. So yeah, it does. For me, I think that would be Scream. Like when I found out the first time I saw Scream and the killers are revealed, you're like, oh, and it's a great movie. Yeah, I love it.
For me, at the end of Friday the 13th, Part 5, we find out that it wasn't Jason. It was Roy.
Yeah.
It was actually a father of one of the kids at that like halfway house or whatever.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, Tommy Jarvis is in the hospital, and it flashes to I forget her name, but she comes in to like see him or visit him or whatever. And he's not there, and the door closes behind her, and he's behind her wearing the hockey mask, and he has the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
But I don't know if that was a dream sequence or if that was supposed to be real.
No, they actually had plans to pursue that further, where Tommy would have became the new Jason.
Yeah.
But they went against that, and then like again in the novelization of Part 6, it talks about how she was able to talk him down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's the only thing that bothered me with that movie was not really the fact that Jason wasn't the killer. It was the fact that, this guy's son is killed the person by that psycho guy at the halfway house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so he comes back and kills all the people that didn't do it after they arrested the guy, and he just lets him go be locked up and kill him. Yeah. That just never made sense to me. Like, I get why he's mad at everybody, but I thought that would be, you'd think that'd be the first one you'd want to take out if you're going to go that route. But
but like what Dr. Von Hoot was saying, the scenes that gave me the most like fear and tension and anxiety were from Halloween, the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
And it's those little things where he's, like they said, he's out right by the laundry.
Yeah.
And you're looking at some dude in that scary, faceless, expressionless mask. He's standing there for sure. And then she rubs her eyes and looks again or something, and he's gone, and then she's just okay with it. Like, all right. And I'm like, no, that's not good. And then they're walking down the freaking sidewalk, and dude pops out from behind a hedge, and then he's gone again. That's the kind of shit that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Mike says,
or like
he's
the part where he's like, he's watching her behind the shrub, it's just like uneasy feeling.
Yeah. Poor Loy, scared another one away.
I think that's the beauty of the original Halloween is like it's remembered as a like a bloodbath, but there really isn't that much gore in it, and it's
No.
more about the build to everything. It's that
Yes.
slow stalking that Michael does of Laurie, just for because she's there, like, and because he's a sick freak that likes scaring people before he kills them.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the kind of the theme of these movies, like that feeling, like, because we all had that feeling walking down a street or like a sidewalk at night, and you get that feeling like you're being followed for a second, or something's not quite right. And like, I think it kind of, that's what what people love about these movies is that we've all had that feeling before, right? Like you're in a house, you're at home alone, and you at night, and you hear a noise or something, and your mind always goes to the worst place possible. So, but and then John Carpenter is just brilliant at that kind. Just the way I don't think he got enough love as a director, not just in that movie, but like The Thing and all, Escape from New York and like Big Trouble in Little China. He just like whatever he does, he's good at. Like even like Prince of Darkness. I thought Prince of Darkness was pretty cool.
Yeah, Prince of Darkness is a phenomenal movie. It's a very effective supernatural horror movie. But I think you're right that he does get credit now, but at the time he was just thought of as churning out these movies. But the movies he made in that period are among the greatest horror movies ever made because they're that well made. I don't think there is another horror director that has so consistently made the very top tier of movies. Because you could put The Thing up against, I don't know, Schindler's List. Like Schindler's List, also a great film, not a horror movie, but in its own right, great film. I would put The Thing next to Schindler's List and say, like, The Thing is also genuinely a very, very good movie. It's incredibly well made.
The Thing just got the bad luck of coming out at the same time E.T. came out.
Yeah.
And that movie kind of soured people on hiring him for a while. So, but he was able to do great things after that. I thought. I mean, now like Ghost from Mars and stuff, like it kind of fell off there. But although it's still an entertaining movie, but yeah, that it's that feeling. Like I like that. Like what's great about Scream too is like the girl's home alone, like Drew, and then you got Drew Barrymore, of all people, like was one of the most recognizable female actresses at the time. And this gets this call, and this guy's kind of acting flirty with her, and she thinks it's, oh yeah, well, and he's like, well, he says, I'm gonna gut you like or whatever he says to her, I can't remember exactly. And then you're like, oh no, this girl's in trouble. Like, oh, and then she gets killed, and you're like, oh shit, nobody's safe in this movie. Drew Barrymore is killed in the first scene. Nobody in this movie's safe.
It's so smart because it's not the first time that's happened in so much as we've all seen the lone person being terrorized and then murdered, right? We've all seen it happen a million times in the 80s. And what they did was they took a lead actress and put her into that role, shot it as well as you could possibly shoot that sequence, and tricked the audience into thinking, well, she's going to be the final girl. And no, it completely sweeps the rug out from underneath you, and she's dead in the first.
And it's the same thing with Hitchcock in Psycho. Janet Leigh was a really famous actress, been in a lot of movies at that time, and you're like, oh, she's going to be all right. And then all of a sudden, she's gone, and then she's gone there, and she's going to come back. And
I mean, with Psycho, it's slightly different because she's in like 45 minutes of the movie.
That's
like,
true.
so it all pretends like she's the genuine lead of the movie, and then just like that again, boom, knock her out, and it's a completely different film at that point.
And that movie did for people taking showers what Jaws did for people swimming in the ocean. It
did. You're right. There are two movies that people I've like growing up. I can remember sitting at like family occasions, and people would talk about movies, and it would come round to like the shower scene in Psycho or the swimming with sharks for Jaws. Yeah. And they'd all be like, I hated taking showers after that, or I can't stand going in the ocean anymore. Like it always comes around to that.
Well, hell, if we're going to talk about PTSD after watching a movie, how many people drive behind log trucks now?
Not at all. Heck no. If I see no way.
I watched a video. It was like a little short where it showed a log truck here, and then right behind it was another log truck in the other lane, and then you should see the guy go, you know it's got to be some scary shit when the log truck don't want to follow the log truck.
Yeah.
I saw a funny TikTok or something like a reel of this woman. She was behind one, and she's filming, or somebody's filming the car. She's like, I'm ready. I've had enough. Just take me. She's like behind.
Mike says, you taking Bass after The Shining. Oh, she ain't lying.
Oh, yeah. Or Friday 13th. Or even like going to sleep. You know, like that. The part where Tina in Friday 13th is killed and her boyfriend's in the room with her and she going up the wall. It's just like totally terrifying to me.
No.
Like, you know, and then the one that's kind of ridiculous is like, of course, like Johnny Depp's got a 50-pound TV laying on his chest while he's watching in his bed. That was kind of weird, but but how you get stuck in bed?
I think one of my favorite, because I don't really think about lines in a trailer that hits so well, because you hear it in the movie, but it hits so well in the Nightmare on Elm Street trailer when you hear John Saxon say he was in a room with a girl that went inside and came out in a rubber bag. And I was like,
John
wow.
Saxon's a wonderful actor. We don't talk about him enough anymore.
No, we don't.
He's tremendous.
He's great. He had some guest appearances on. I remember back in the day, he was like a cyborg or something in $6 Million Man that Lee Majors fought. And he's also, of course, famously in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
With Bruce Lee.
Oh,
and John Saxon's a great character actor. He was. There's a lot of actors like that, like you remember, but don't. You may not get a starring role like. And I might be mentioning people that are over. I don't know if people even know what I'm talking about when I say this, but like actors like Jason Robards and Warren Oates, you always remember the movies they're in, even if they weren't the main character. And like speaking of Jason Robards, this is not slasher film. I know I'm going off the reservation, but I watched the other day, and I rewatched it. The first time I'd seen it in 25 years probably, and I forgot how frightening it was as a kid. It is a Disney movie. It's called Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, though. It's like, man. And it's supposed to be a good movie, but yeah.
Mike made a comment for the TV miniseries It, Scene in the Shower, where they find guy's name Frank? What's his name, Frank? The one that when he got the phone call, he went in there, because and that's kind of weird because he's talking to his wife before the phone call about having a kid. And then he gets the phone call and he's like, I'm going to go take a shower. And then she finds him where he slit his wrist and wrote it in blood on the back. It's just like, wow. 1 minute he's talking about having kids. He gets a phone call and then he kills himself.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't say it's not really a slasher movie, but.
No, he's like a demonic force or something, right?
He is. What is it? What was it they said that he was a. That Pennywise worked for somebody. Mike, in the comments, let me know. He's supposed to work for somebody in the Stephen King novels, and I don't remember who. I don't remember what the entity was called.
Believe it or not, I've never seen the original Lit miniseries. I just never got around to it.
Dude, for me personally, okay, don't get me wrong. I've watched the first one with Bill Skarsgård. I have not watched It Chapter 2, but I always go back to the TV miniseries because you've got like you had what's the kid? The kid that was in the young kid that committed suicide that was in Sidekicks and everything. Jonathan Brandis was in it. You had Harry Anderson, John Ritter, the woman that played Ma Kent in Smallville and was in Superman 3. You had Tim Curry playing Pennywise. I mean that.
Yeah. I mean Tim Curry's the reason I actually want to watch it because like that guy's amazing.
But the part one though was I really was impressed by it because also it took place at a time when I was the same age as those children, 1989. I was about the same age as they were in that film. And the music they used and like the way the kids interact with each other. And I thought they just did a great casting job with those children in that movie.
Okay, here we go. Mike says, Pennywise is a dark guardian of the beams that protects the Dark Tower. He is a dark god. And he says Spider Guardian. Because Mike is the guy, if you have a Stephen King question, Mike's the guy you want to ask.
Oh, yeah, he knows he's Stephen King. Something.
Now, would you consider, like, okay, you know how they had the old folklore about a succubus or an incubus thing? I always felt like Pennywise because he kind of fed off of these children's fear. That's what made him stronger, right? Is that kind of what he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that analogy with incubus and succubus. Yeah. Has anybody seen The Incubus, the movie?
No,
I haven't seen it.
It's a slasher movie and sort of a supernatural movie at the same time. I'd recommend that one. It's I think I got the Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. It's well worth seeking out. Yeah. Who's the guy that's in it? Is it John Cassavetes? Damn. Like he.
What? Let me look it up.
That's really frustrating when you know a thing and.
I may have missed their initial comments in the post, but I want to say hi to Cliff and hi to Rich. Comic Cap Cliff.
Hey! Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
So,
yeah, it is John Cassavetes. He's really good in it. It's a really creepy movie.
I have a two-part question in pertaining to slashers, and they kind of go together. Part one, okay. So the question goes like this: out of all the people that died in any slasher movie, what was the one person that you were so glad they killed that died, and the person that you think didn't deserve it?
Right. The first two things that spring to mind is the annoying one in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I forget his name. You know, the sort of fat.
The kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah, the one that you just want to push over. That one, because he's just like they intentionally made that guy as annoying as humanly possible. I think they were probably going for learning difficulties, but what they did was just make him really annoying. So it was good that he died. And I've always been sort of heartbroken that they killed Rose McGowan in Scream because, you know, like Peyton. I was 15, I think, when that movie came out, and I was obsessed with her in that movie, and then they kill her. So I'm just like, shit, it's like they killed my girlfriend. It was awful.
I felt like that when they killed Judy Aronson in Friday the 13th Part 4. I was like, I mean, she wasn't really doing anything wrong. She just wanted to go out there and go for a swim, you know. But the guy, in that same movie, the guy really was not, I was not sorry he got killed at all, was the computer guy. It was always like, messing with Crispin Glover's trying to get Lucky up there. He's like, "Hey, I found this old dirty movie. Come here." Like,
oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, he can go. Like, kill him straight away.
And also the wheelchair guy in Friday the 13th Part 2. The dude don't do nothing. and also just because I was obsessed with her is the girl with the I can't remember. I said her name a minute ago, but the girl with the Mickey Mouse shirt and the little short shorts. I was like, and did they kill her dog? That right there. Did the dog really have to die?
Oh, Muffin?
Yeah,
Muffin. Did Muffin get killed?
Oh, did she survive? Okay, I forgot.
We don't know. I mean,
I don't recall Muffin getting killed.
Okay.
It's hinted that she died. You know, you see Muffin around some footsteps, and the next thing you see is hot dogs on the grill. So I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty sure you made Mom just come in the room and you made her laugh when you said that. So,
Jeff, what are yours?
For Friday the 13th Part 4, I don't know why. Crispin Glover's character annoyed the shit out of me, so I was glad to see him get it. But as far as somebody I think that they shouldn't have killed,
it don't have to be Friday 13th. It could be Halloween. It could be Nightmare on Elm Street. It could be any of them.
I'm trying to think of all of them. Fuck them. They all deserved it. I can't really think of one where I was like, oh man, she shouldn't have got it, or he shouldn't have got it.
I don't know about you guys. This is a little bit of a tangent on this, but I always prefer slasher movies where I, generally speaking, like the characters before they get killed. It's sort of a when they make the characters too annoying, then it sort of doesn't resonate with me when they die. I'm just like, yeah, get rid of them, get them off the screen. I don't care. You see, but if I really like the guy or girl that's being killed, then it's more tragic.
Oh, and I had another Friday the 13th Part 4 question. What happened to Mama Jarvis?
She died.
In a scene?
Yeah, there's a deleted scene where they didn't put it in the movie where Trish, I think her name, finds her in the bathtub.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy, what's your take on this two-part question?
You know, to be honest with you, I can't really think of anything to answer on those. It's really, there's just so much. I don't know. I can't really think of anything. I know that's kind of a cop out.
Actually, I'll renege on mine. I liked Reckless Reggie's older brother. He was pretty cool to his younger brother, and I don't think he deserved it. He didn't deserve it, but he got it.
When I think of the ones that deserve to die, I think of people like that freaking doctor in Part 7, Dr. Cruz. He deserved it. Man, my mind's trying to go blank on me.
The uncle in Part 8 too. He deserved it.
Yeah, he deserved it. I think he deserved it just as much, if not a little bit more, than Dr. Cruz. There was another one I was going to bring up that I thought deserved it. Anyway, I'll think of that one. Now, some of the ones I thought that didn't deserve it was that poor girl in Jason X that got the cryogenic death. I don't think she deserved it.
Yeah, she was a delight, but that is a great death. Like they they nailed that one.
Very cool.
I was gonna say, Matt just mentioned Alice. That kind of just was like, wow, Alice got killed in Part 2 of Friday 13th. You know, the wheelchair death. You know, another one I think deserved it was that prick in Part 2 that was shot the girl in the butt with a slingshot. He probably deserved it. But
and the prankster in Part 3, the guy was always pranking everybody. I'm glad he got it too.
Yeah, definitely that guy. He deserved it.
But as far as some of the others I thought didn't deserve it, was my biggest one is Rachel in Part 5 of Halloween. I didn't think she deserved to die. I was like, of all of them, that really threw me for a loop when I watched Halloween 5, and I went, "Oh my god, he got Rachel! Oh shit!"
And the nurse in
and I was gonna say, and Jamie in Part 6.
Yeah, and the nurse in Friday 13th Part 4. The creepy guy that was trying to hit on her and get her in the sack, he deserved what he got. But she was like, she just wanted to be left alone. She was in there counting the medication and the medical supplies. And he just comes there. And,
I think that's why I love those movies from a sort of standpoint of the psychology of Michael. It's like he doesn't care. Like he really doesn't care whether you're a good guy or a bad guy or anything. He doesn't care about what you do, who you are. He's just doing it to amuse himself.
That's what terrified me the most about Michael Myers and that whole franchise, and being a little kid, is the fact that he wasn't like, "Ha ha ha! I'm going to get you and I'm going to chop you up in little pieces," like you expect some psycho to say. He was just hollow, no facial expression.
Yeah,
just a walking murder machine that pops out of the fucking shadows. And that I can't. When I was a kid, man, that just disturbed me.
when Jeff said that about the chopping up, for some reason I had a mental image of that crazy old lady in part 5, and she's got that chicken going, I'm going to chop you up into itty little bitty pieces, my friend.
Yep.
Well, also,
God damn it,
the thing
Junior.
they mention it, like Dr. Loomis, like when he says that part where he's like, his eyes will deceive you. They will destroy you. They will take you from your innocence, your pride, and eventually your soul. These eyes do not see what you and I see. Behind these eyes, one finds only blackness, the absence of light. These are the eyes of a psychopath, and like that's so true. He don't care about anybody. He's got no compassion for anybody. He's kind of like curious about like when he sticks that guy up against the wall, that knife, he just kind of does that little head turn, like a kid that just stuck a needle through a butterfly on his little board. He's
talking about how when he was a kid, he just sat in a chair and stared, just nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, Loomis's monologue about Michael in the first one is probably one of the most classic cases where he talks about, I watched him grow up. He goes into the whole monologue, and then he says, at the end, he says he has the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Yeah, and and it's also, it builds this tension up the way he sells it, because Donald Pleasance was a great actor. The only other one I can compare that to is in Jaws, when Robert Shaw's telling them about going down with the USS Indianapolis and 1,100 men went in the water, and you just feel the tension build as he keeps telling the story, and also the other actors in the scene with him, though, obviously the way they played it. But so that's what it kind of reminded me of, was that.
Here's to swimming with four-legged women.
And I was going to say, when Jeff was talking about Michael earlier, you see one scene in Halloween 1 where after that kid got bullied by those people, and that one ran off, and he grabbed him and he let him go. Yeah. And lo and behold, 3 movies later, he's chasing his young niece.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And also, the best part I left out where Jeff was talking about, he says, I met him 15 years ago. I realized what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. So you already find out at the beginning that there's no redemption to this guy. And the thing that's supposed to seem scary, Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger scary because, Freddy Krueger was a child predator. Yeah. So that's scary and horrible. But like Michael Myers is a complete psychopath that has no remorse. And Jason does too. But, Jason's kind of got a little bit of a motivation to kill his mother.
Jason has a soft spot for his mom.
Yeah. At first, Jason's kind of a sympathetic character, honestly. I know he kills a lot, but you still feel sorry for him because of what happened to him and the way he was treated as a child. Mm-hmm. And then I'm not, it doesn't condone what he did, obviously, but
But Jason is more like a animal. His motivations are sort of you've invaded his territory, and he's saying, "Get out of my territory!" By killing you. He doesn't feel like he's enjoying it. Especially, he doesn't feel like he's not enjoying it. He doesn't care either. It's just it's more like an animal attacking somebody. Whereas Michael, his drive is to kill people. It's like in the first one where he slams the guy on the wall, stabs him, so he's hanging up on the wall, and he steps back and just looks at it, cocks his head, because he's admiring his work.
Yeah, he's admiring his work.
That's a human trait right there, but it's an evil one. He's like, that was good work, good job. I don't know. Whereas, I think Freddy's always been the one that's the most screwed up of them, because obviously he's an actual child predator. Before he was a killer, he was trying to destroy children by.
And Freddy talks a lot of shit before he kills people.
Yeah, he does, absolutely, and that's why it's so messed up that you as a kid they released kids' Halloween costumes of Freddy. That's just weird.
Yeah.
But did they have Freddy plushies and stuff? They had all kinds of.
I think they did. I think they had all the stuff that you would, you could buy in the 80s. They would market Freddy Krueger towards, and the kid's a child molester. Let's be honest. It's They never say it outright until Freddy's dead, do they? But essentially, they use the term child killer when really we all know that he's the worst of the worst. Like,
and we know we just like, and also there's like a reality to it because it's like the here recently the guy that was rock star that was locked up in your country, DVH, he just got killed in prison. That guy we got real monsters like that. You know what I mean? That's like
they exist.
A real thing.
There was a reason why that mob burnt his ass up in the boiler room.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's killing children in there too, Cliff. You're right. He never stopped, and it's the sheer pleasure he gets in doing it. You can tell.
Yeah.
That's even scarier. But they're all scary. But like Freddy's the one that has kind of like he's smarter than like Michael Myers is kind of like that lumbering. He's like, it almost reminds me of like when they did the Terminator. Terminator's almost like Michael Myers because, he just keeps coming at him no matter what. You can't bargain with him. Like Michael Biehn says with the Terminator, you can't bargain with him. He has no compassion. He's only got one mission, and that's kill you.
I mean, Michael Myers is like a great white shark with legs and a mask.
On land. And a knife.
The bare bones of the Terminator, the original movie, is essentially a slasher movie. It's like essentially the same formula that's used. Same with Predator. Predator is essentially a slasher movie down to a T. In so much as like the Predator, you replace with Michael Myers the co-eds from Friday the 13th that are taking a holiday are really just Marines in the case of Predator, and that's why it works. Like it's a slasher movie at the end of the day.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Well, and that's the same thing with like, even like if you get into serial killers like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, or American Psycho, their motivation is just like Michael Myers. He's a psychopath. Jason, what's his name? Not Jason Bateman, Patrick Bateman, not the actor. Patrick Bateman is, he just enjoys seeing people like hurting people. It's just, and also that's very scary too because of like, especially like in the late 70s and the early 80s was kind of like the boom of the serial killer. You know what I mean? Like you had ones like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, and the same thing is that I think scares us about them is what scares us about somebody like Michael Myers.
I mean, I think from like a real world perspective, it was the boom of the serial killer purely because the media existed more prominently during the 80s, so that they
This is that scene.
I'm sure they were there. Oh, yeah, it's a classic scene.
And I'll keep it under the. I don't want you to get trouble on your channel here.
Okay. All right. Can
So
you control
on it? Yep. That kind of shit.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Look where?
Absolutely.
Behind the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better stop it. And by the way, I always had a thing.
That stuff, man.
I always had a thing for Jamie Lee Curtis's friend in that movie. I don't know, for some reason
Absolutely.
I thought she was hot. I always wanted to party with her.
Was it Nancy Lewis? Are you talking about her or PJ Souls?
PJ.
Oh yeah, PJ.
I guess the one her friend walking with her in the scene. Yeah.
Oh, that was Nancy Loomis.
Well, I think I always thought she was hot.
But PJ Souls was awesome. Totally.
Yeah.
Now you could turn PJ Souls when you're watching the first Halloween movie. You could turn PJ Souls' character's quotes into a drinking game. I mean, take a shot every time she says "totally," and you're on the floor by the time.
And I guess
depending on the alcohol,
we got the.
Those are
that's
awesome.
nice.
Everybody's already seen it, but yeah.
I was gonna say we could do the show and tell part if y'all want to show some stuff off. Cause I got a shitload of stuff, but I mean it's just only if y'all want to see it.
I mean,
I'd like to see it.
Let's go with Matt first.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be showing off my Nika figures because they're all up, and I had to go get them.
Some of the stuff I got is not per se slasher, but it's in the horror genre. We got Yeah, NECA. I think I showed that on Chris's show like last week or the week before.
The NECAs are gorgeous to me.
Yeah, this is just I thought it was. I didn't know which one it was, but apparently it's the one from the Michael Mann movie. And if you're going to talk about horror, you can't go without talking about famous monsters of filmland.
Oh yeah. I will take a minute and say thanks, Mike. Thanks for watching, Mike. We'll see you later.
And we got Mike Mignola and Roy Thomas did the first Topps comic was Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I don't know. I think this kind of fits in the genre, doesn't it? Got Army of Darkness.
Why not? If we're just doing casual Halloweeny vibes, Army of Darkness, definitely.
That's all I got. That's all I got at this point. So it'll have to do, I guess.
Does anybody want to show something before I get into my monologue? There we go.
I mean, I'll do it because I've got a stack of
we still got Matt.
We've still got Matt on the Return of the Living Dead.
Those are awesome Mark Spears.
And I think this counts too. I think this will count too.
Oh yeah, I love that cover.
Creature of the Black.
One of my favorites. That was awesome. I just like the way the reflections and stuff. He just did a bang up job on that one. You got Dracula with the brides. Dracula by himself.
Oh yeah.
That one speaks for itself. I don't think I have to say anything about why I bought that one.
It's the webbing.
They got the mummy. Not my mummy, but a mummy. Oh, they got that girl. That's really not monstrous on the cover, though. It's just that one tattooed lady. And there's the New Mutant 98 homage. Oh, Vampy.
I love that one.
There you go.
I got that one on the way in the mail.
Get this Horseman one. And then we got another one of my favorites is the I like the Free Comic Book Day one because it looks like an old VHS tape.
Yep.
And then I got
homage to the boys.
Some more
Which in of itself is a homage to the Straight Out of Compton.
Yeah. Signed by Adam Hughes.
Ooh.
More Spears. You know, that was an awesome homage to ASM 601, I think. Homage to, I like homage covers, as you can tell. Like, look, we got Weird Science.
That's awesome. I haven't seen that one. I need to try and track that down. I love me some Weird Science.
Elvira's House of Mystery. I don't know if this one counts, but I'll show it. It's a Violator. And then I'll show this one as the last one because Farrell has been really great for doing this with their covers. Homage to Friday the 13th.
That was the only reason I bought that cover.
And I think I'll count this because it's vampires. I got these from Freaky Louie. We got Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I love that cover.
That's all I could find. One more thing I had. This is by Robert E. Howard. It's a horror story. It's like one of the few horror stories he wrote. So
I love that cover. That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's like, look at this dude. Hey, check this out. It's like at a haunted plantation, abandoned plantation in the South. Look at this art.
Yeah, that art's great.
All right, that's all I got to.
Who would like to go next?
Yeah, well, I might as well, because it's nothing special. It's just so every year for the last 10 years, I've asked my friends to pick a different slasher movie from my Blu-ray collection because I have a large Blu-ray collection, 2,000-ish, but about 500, 600 of them are slasher movies. So I've rotate them every year, take them off the list, write a review, and so like last night I watched Halloween Kills, the extended cut, and that's interesting. If you've seen the theatrical cut, I recommend you check out the theatrical. It's got about 5 or 6 minutes additional scenes, but also alternate takes and stuff like that. Like the kills are more violent. It's a bit nastier. It's just a slightly different movie, and I just recommend it. I also watched Slaughterhouse Rocks. I assumed this was a slasher movie, and I haven't seen it in years. So I put it on. Turns out, not really a slasher movie. It's more like a supernatural, like a bit like Night of the Demon, except with sort of vampire-ish looking people. They're not even really vampires. It's a bit crap. Avoid that. The Slayer. This is a great movie. I highly recommend it. People check this out. It's quite dry. Like there's no comedy or anything. It's essentially 4 people go to a secluded island, and one of them suffers from nightmares, and people start to die. So straight up slasher. Have no idea why it's called The Slayer. Like it doesn't make any sense. It should be called anything else, but it's a good movie.
That'd make a great poster. I love that art.
Yeah, it's good art, right? Then this is a new one, Heart Eyes.
I've heard of that one.
This came out this year, and it's really, really fun. However, it's really fun if you like also romantic comedies. Like it's part romantic comedy, part slasher movie. And if you like those two things, this is brilliant. It's really well done. Highly recommend it if you like them. Iced. So Iced came out in the 80s. It's it was shot on film, and it was a notorious movie because it never made it to DVD. Came out on VHS tapes in the US in the 80s, but it's little seen, and I heard a lot about this for years. Now the problem is, it was shot on film but edited on video. So the best version that's available for this Blu-ray is essentially a crap VHS that's been as well manipulated as they can. So it doesn't look great. It looks a bit like watching a VHS, but it's with better colors, basically. But it's a decent-ish slasher. I recommend it. Happens in the snow, which is always fun. Snowy slashers are fun. Cornered, which this is the German Blu-ray, but it's a movie starring, I say starring, sort of camoing for long periods, I guess. Steve Guttenberg. If you're a big fan of the Police Academy movies, this is worth a watch. It's like a 2010-ish movie, so it's a bit sleazy looking, but it's low budget, but not like it made for TV levels production. But the violence is more Blu-ray-ish. Worth a watch.
How you doing, Jonathan?
This is a movie called Knife Plus Kill. No, Knife Plus Heart. Sorry. Kill. This is a French movie set in the 70s about a gay porn studio who their cast gets slowly bumped off. So it's an LGBTQ plus movie, basically. It's quite artsy fartsy in sort of like it's very French art house feeling, but it is a slasher movie. Like at the end of the day, the killer goes around killing some people with a big black dildo that is that hides a knife. So you can't go wrong. It's an LGBT plus movie that I think is really worth watching. Yeah, Cliff should give it a go. Why not? Yeah, I'd love to. I feel weird about discussing it. Really, like trying to verbiage my way around it because, like, obviously I'm not part of that community, but I'm a supporter of it. I just I'd love to know what the queer community thinks of that movie because it is made by people. It's
Someone
fascinating.
Someone said big.
Oh yes, it's big.
I'm gonna send the link to Bruce, Tony.
Ghost Dance. I watched this last night, actually. First time I'd seen it. It's another like early 80s-ish slasher about Native American and a possession sort of story with serial killing vibes. It's all right. It's worth a watch. Better than some of the Native American slashers I've seen, like Scalped, not good. Bloodhook is a trauma movie from the 80s. It is notoriously boring. Like, if you know about this movie, that's what people will say. It's dull as hell. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, and no slasher movie from the 80s should be an hour and 50 minutes long. But I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. And essentially, the killer kills everyone with their fishing tackle, like just like the hooks on the end of a fishing rod, and they kill them left, right, and center with it over and over again. It's a lot of fun. Then I watched this one last night. This is the latest one I've seen. The Forest. This is not good. This is not good. It's again from the 80s, put out by Code Red on Blu-ray. Looks nice. The movie, they did a decent enough restoration on it. You know how you were talking earlier about how Michael Myers would just sort of pop up and stuff? Well, there's a sequence in here which is just embarrassing, frankly. The killer is chasing a guy that was having a go on his missus. And he essentially jumps out of frame. The man will run away, just run, and then he'll jump out in front of them and swipe at him. And then the man will run away, and they're in a completely different direction, and he will just jump out again. Like, there's no way in hell he could possibly travel to these places. Like, it's utterly impossible. Yeah, it is absolute teleportation. This is not a good film. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's what I've done. That so far, and they're the ones that are next to me. So there you go.
Jeff, you got anything you want to show, or?
I just got handy. I only got one thing. It's a super cool cover I've been going after for a while. And it's Zombified. It's from the series called 68. It's a Vietnam series, kind of zombie storyline. But this is Zombified Jimi Hendrix.
That's cool.
That's dope.
And so I bought this one out of Cover Love, obviously. But that's it for me. That's all I got for horror stuff.
Jeremy, do you have anything, or?
I'm just an extra.
Okay.
Most of the time, that's me too.
Huh?
Well, I mean, so the question for me is, where do I start? Because I got a bunch of shit here. So I'll start with comics. We'll do pictures. I got a couple Blu-rays. Then I'll go to the classic stuff. So I showed this earlier. Once again, I'm gonna show it since the guys are here. I got the novelization for Fright Night Part 2, the movie. Pretty cool. Glad to have that off. Check that off the mark. So since we're talking about slashers, and I don't have too many slasher comics, I've got the complete set with cards still bagged. Jason Goes to Hell.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've been looking for those.
That's the special glow in the dark cover. Now this ties with Satan 6 because they're released on the same day as the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in comics. Although the nod normally goes to this one. Then of course we got issue 2. And then we got issue 3. All right, so I'm going to show off some pictures. These are some pictures that I got. Some are autographed, and there's a couple professional pictures in here. where me and Jeremy did a photo shoot with somebody, and then me and Tim did. So this is just a thing of killing time. For those of you who don't know, Felissa Rose and Tyler Main do a podcast called Killing Time on YouTube. You can go check it out. The first Felissa autograph I've got is from her, Terrifier. It says, "To Tony, what's going on?" So that's her with the kids from Terrifier 2. She played the principal. I can't think of the principal's name in Terrifier 2. And then the other Felissa one I got, it says, "To Tony, meet me at the waterfront after the social." So, you know. And then what's really cool is Tyler Main's autograph that I got. It says, "Tony, tell them all to F off." So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, coincidentally, I also got. I actually sent DVH an autograph from this convention. We got Daniel Harris, Daniel Harris autograph for Halloween 4.
I love Daniel Harris.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we got David Howard Thornton's Art the Clown. And
Yeah,
that's
you
what I
did.
sent DVH was an autograph day, because I was like, I know DVH loves Terrifier, and if I tell him what I'm going to do, he'll stop me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do
Very
it.
cool.
I'm just going to do it, and that's the way it is. Yeah, because I got him a different picture, but this one says, "Tony, you're on my naughty list." And it's David Howard Thornton. And then me and Jeremy went in halves, because it was Jeremy's idea to do a professional photo. And here's a picture of me and Jeremy with Art the Clown.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
And then me and my buddy Tim, we did a photo op with Daniel Harris.
Hell yeah. I love
And
it.
I actually got the T-shirt. I still have the T-shirt right here. So, you know, I said something about
Nice.
making a shadow box. So I didn't want to pull out all my Halloween, Freddy and Michael Myers or Jason movies for DVD, because I was going to do it for something else. But I did pull out a few Blu-rays, like Matt mentioned. This is the definitive documentary for Friday 13th.
Yeah.
Crystal Lake Memories. Awesome. They have one called Never Sleep Again for Nightmare on Elm Street, made by the same company. Pretty awesome.
I have
And
that.
then-
I have the version that has the extra disc.
Yeah.
So mine's a 4-disc version, and it has it came out. It was exclusive to Dark Delicacies is the place, and they signed all the cover. So mine's got covered in signatures from everybody that was involved, and it has an extra disc which is like outtakes and stuff like that for.
That's
On
cool.
DVD, it's a DVD rather than a Blu-ray on the extra disc.
I've got this Halloween 25 Years of Terror. It was the 25th anniversary Halloween video. This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's got
that's
some cool
awesome.
stuff on it. And then I've got the producer's cut of Halloween 6. Some people don't like it. I love it.
Yeah, I like the producer's cut.
I got my buddy. My buddy. I love Tim. He says, "How can Michael be stopped by rocks?" And I'm like, "Well, if you ever play." At the time, he'd never played D&D. I was like, if you knew a little bit about ruins, you'd understand how he could be stopped by rocks. Okay, now I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can. My buddy Tim, at one point in time, was running a video store in Lepanto. He ran it for 40 years, from 85 to, 2023-ish, something like that. So when they were selling their movies, they sold all their VHS copies. So these hold not only a cool aspect because these are VHS copies, but I guarantee you, as a kid, I was one of the kids that came in and repeatedly rented these movies. And not to bore y'all too much, but we got Friday the 13th. So I'm just going to run through and just show you that Tony has.
I love seeing this stuff.
Me too.
Like I said, these are the versions that young Tony.
They're the original rental copies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and these were the ones that young Tony would spend his allowance on, and go and rent.
Man, there's got to be a way to protect those and preserve them. You know,
There's like little
They're
slip
neat.
case you can get for them.
Yeah, I need to get them some kind of protection for them because right now they're just sitting in a blue bin. Now this is a later version. I didn't rent this one out. Obviously, this was a later version of Part 8, like that first one. Of course, I wasn't around the video store when Jason X come out, but I got that. Or Freddy versus Jason. But yeah, like I said, I can go through here. You know, we got Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the only, and this is, you could tell it's wore out. This was probably in front of the window.
Yeah, they've been in the sun. You can, it looks like, but still, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite.
There it is, right there,
right here.
Dream Warrior.
You can't see it.
Dream no more.
You can't see it anymore, but in the circle it said featuring the video Dream Warriors by Talkin. And then we had, like I said, and believe it or not, for those of you who don't know, Bruce Dickinson did a version of "Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter" for this soundtrack for 5, which would be later recorded for Iron Maiden for No Prayer of the Dying. Of course, we got the non-3D version of Freddy's Dead. And then Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then we'll end it with of course, you know, we're going to end it with Halloween. We got the original.
That one's still in good shape, the Halloween one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you can tell I've got Halloween 2. I will defend. I would have never done this when the movie come out, but I will defend this movie to my freaking grave now because I've actually loved it. And that's Halloween 3.
Well, I always say if it hadn't been called Halloween, it wouldn't have been. It would have probably got better reception.
Yeah, that's the thing is, you know, if they would have told everybody before they made this movie, look, we're going in a different direction, and if the fans would have backlashed, then they would have known not to do it. But I agree, if it would just be called Season of the Witch, this movie would have, especially in a time when they were making movies about robots and shit in the 80s, this movie would have made bank. And of course, we got Halloween 4. The Revenge of Michael Myers. We've got the movie that Donald Pleasance said the script was absolute shit, Halloween 5, but I still love this movie anyway. Then we have the theatrical version of Halloween 6, followed by Halloween H2O. And as much as everybody likes to shit on Halloween 3, this is the one that I really don't care for. Halloween Resurrection. And the only reason I like the movie, it's got a lot of good kills and stuff. The whole Buster Rhymes trying to whoop Michael Myers' ass with kung fu just really freaking kills it for me. And
I mean, it's a very silly film, but I sort of like that about it. So, like, if you don't take it seriously, it's good fun. Like it,
it's a campy version.
Yeah.
So going through that list, you know, by the time Rob Zombie did Halloween, I don't think they were making VHS copies. So the only one I'm actually missing is Jason Goes to Hell. No, yeah, Jason Goes to Hell. That might be the only one I'm missing on VHS to have the trifecta of the 3 biggest.
Funny thing about that is Jason Goes to Hell was the first one that I rented myself. Like that's the one that I used to, because I mentioned the BBFC earlier.
Yeah.
Well, the rules are very strict over here about getting movies, rentals, or purchasing. If you're under the age of 18, if it's an 18 certificate, you can't get it. Basically, you're not allowed to. It's illegal for them to sell you it. Is the gist of it. It's particularly back in those days. They took it very seriously. And I used to live close to a video store that it had actually closed, and they'd reopened in a liquor store, basically, and just had VHS tapes. And for some reason, the guy that ran the liquor store didn't care how old I was. Like, he just didn't care. So I would rent all of them. Like, and that was the first one that I rented, was Jason Goes to Hell.
The funny thing about Jason Goes to Hell is I showed the comics. They actually made a Jason Goes to Hell souvenir magazine that I've been trying to find. It had a nice, really cool poster in the middle of it, where the one side of it showed Jason, the other side showed the dude eating the heart. I don't know why they wanted to make that a really big poster. But that was pretty cool. But I had the original movie poster for Jason Goes to Hell forever, and I would always like to try to find that version again, just for the simple fact it looks like every other version of the movie poster. It says, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, and and at the bottom of it, it said, and he's not coming back. That was the only reason why I wanted that version.
Oh.
But that's me. That's all I'm gonna show. Because all these movies I showed, I've got them on VHS. Obviously, I've got them on DVD, Blu-ray. Well, I'm slowly starting to buy them on Blu-ray digital. Yeah, I'm a little obsessed. and dude, that's not even all the slashers. Like I don't have 500 or 600 slashers like DVH has got, but I mean, I could throw a dart over here and I could find like D. Snyder's Strangeland, or just off the wall stuff.
Well,
do you have any of the John Gallagher artist,
No,
like Halloween stuff or any of that?
I don't believe I do.
Oh, okay.
But like, and as a comic book fan, I am like very jealous of Scotty Vaughn when he shows off all those Halloween comics, because I would love to have any of those Halloween comics, and I can't afford those damn things.
I'm determined to get a CGC graded John Carpenter signed Halloween comic. I'm not so fussy about which one, but I want a John Carpenter signed Halloween comic. It's got to happen.
I would love to get at least the first appearance of Michael in comics. I'd like to have that. And then Freddy, I really don't know what his first appearance in comics is, because for those that might not know, Marvel did a 2-issue magazine style format run of A Nightmare on Elm Street. So I mean, and then Innovation did some books, and then after that, I think Wildstorm did some. I know Wildstorm did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they had a bunch of Friday 13th books. I want to say they did some for Nightmare on Elm Street as well.
The Innovation covers are really beautiful for Nightmare on
they
Elm
are.
Street. They're really, really nice. I've got one or two, but I need to get more.
I can thank DVH for introducing me to a website called Vinegar Syndrome. So I've been like going on there trying to look at their obscure, not just the slasher, the horror films, but like they got a lot of probably the most Cynthia Rothrock movies I've ever seen in one place in 4K.
They are a treasure trove of trash. Like it's all the stuff that nobody wants, but I do. Like I think it's
same.
Their restorations are as good as anyone on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean their actual business isn't so much making the Blu-rays, it's restoration for other people and an archivist. So their goal as a company is to try and archive all this stuff, and the precision they do on their restorations is second to none. And I'm talking for stuff that nobody cares about. Like it's wonderful. I love that stuff.
Thank you, Bruce. He says first Freddy cover is Fright number 3, 1988. I didn't know that. But can y'all hear me? It seems like everybody went quiet.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, what'd you say?
Just being a dick.
No, you can't be, man. Oh, hold on. We got Lady F in the house.
Hey, Lady F. She's one of my favorite people on YouTube. Everybody should watch anything she's on. She's hilarious.
Yes, she is. Go say, Lady F, you missed all the slasher talk and DVH talking about people killing people with dildos and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah. So Bruce says the first appearance in Origin is Freddy Krueger's Nightmares on Elm Street #1 from Marvel 1989. She says Dildo Slaughter is glorious. Yes, anybody watching this, any of my friends and family that are watching this, if you haven't noticed by now, there is no rating for this show. This is not family time, especially when we're talking about slasher movies.
Well, it's just midnight here, so it's okay for me for this kind of talk. But I feel it's got to be what 7 p.m. for you or something.
It's like 6:16 for me.
Have you seen these, Tony?
Yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about. That very first one in the top right corner, I believe, is the first appearance of Michael in comics.
Okay.
Top left,
I want
top left, not top right, top left.
So I had top left and I had the bottom right, but I had to sell them a couple years ago.
Man,
it's going to be hard to get them back.
I'd like the bottom left.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
In an ideal,
they're all beautiful. I love them.
They are. Yeah.
She said that she's been playing Fortnitemares like big kids. Now another comic that I'm going to go for. It's not horror themed. It's more fantasy. As much as I'm a big fan of Dristy Erden, I'm going to go try to track down his first comic book appearance because I think the cheapest copy is $100. So we'll see.
Sure
and that's raw.
Dark Elf.
Oh wow. She says Jason Voorhees is a bad guy on Fortnite now. That's pretty cool. So y'all, we are past the 2-hour mark. So as we close, I'm going to ask one more question, and then we'll close. And then we'll go around the horn. And the people in the chat, feel free to sound off as well. And so, what is your favorite what is your favorite slasher movie? Jeremy, you started off.
Child's Play 2. That's all I guess. So yeah, I don't know what it was about it. I gotta watch it again. Actually, to be honest with you, but that's just the first movie that came to mind when you asked that question. So, but
all right, Jeff, what's yours?
For me, it's a dead tie between the original John Carpenter's Halloween and Friday the 13th Part 4.
Okay. Well, Matt's got his volume off. DVH, what's yours?
I mean, this is a really hard question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm asking the guy that does Slashtober, what's your favorite slasher movie?
I think
it's like asking what's your favorite band.
It is. It's really difficult because, I entirely agree with Halloween. I also think that Friday the 13th is up there, and then Friday the 13th 2, I think, might be the perfectly made slasher movie. I think the pacing in it is perfect. I think Scream I was obsessed with as a kid, so maybe Scream, but not now. You see what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Scream. Like I rented the videotape and watched it about 9 times in a weekend or something ridiculous. So I'm going to go with Friday the 13th 1, the original, because that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. But I also think Halloween is right there. So I don't know. Sorry. I'm getting on the
That's cool. Before I sound off, I'm going to say Bruce says his favorite one is Black Christmas. That is a pretty good one.
It's a very good movie. Like Bob Clark was a tremendous director, and that is everything that made Halloween great is in Black Christmas. So, you've got to give it to Black Christmas as well.
Yeah. For me, I will go and say Halloween. But usually I'm also torn when I look at Friday the 13th. 2 stand out as my favorites. And that's 3 and 6.
Six was my favorite as a kid. Like, if you'd asked me, as a child, I'd have been like, Part 6 is my jam. Love that movie.
Because I also love the final chapter. I love it. There was something about Brooker's performance in 3 that I just really, out of all of them, 3 is my favorite one as far as Jason being human. He's running. You can feel pain. I know in part 2, Amy kicked him in between the legs and he fell over. So that's pretty cool. Part 6 is the first one where we really see undead Jason. So I mean, that the triple decapitation scene is very laughable. I love that's and then the guy that saves it shoots him with a paintball gun. So you knew not only was he going to die, it was going to be very bad. So I mean, but and then Matt says Friday 13th Part 6 because I have fond memories of that film. So that's pretty cool. So let's go around the horn. I know Jeremy doesn't do YouTube, so I know Jeremy will just be hanging out. Jeff, what you got coming up on your channel, man?
I'm still internet stowaway. I just go on other people's shows because I'm lazy and don't want to make content.
All right. Matt, what you got coming up, man?
Well, before she starts vacuum again, I'll finish. I'll do it real quick. Well, it's Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I got the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza. We go over the new comic book day previews, out of context, comic panels of the week, all that stuff. Then Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be reviewing Return of the Living Dead for Bad Cinema, one of my favorites. Then Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Comic Conversations, JSS Brooklyn will be my guest. And then I'll round out the week on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern when I'm going to be reviewing Fright Night for Good Cinema. And I got to mute again. We got
DVH, what you got coming up? And if you want to, tell them about your other little activity you do on Whatnot.
Okay, so my main thing now is I'm on Whatnot breaking cards. So Marvel cards, AEW cards. But I'm also starting to sell comics on Whatnot as well, because you've got to have a lot of irons in the fire if you want to actually make money. Is the gist of it. But so check me out on Whatnot, because I pull some really fun stuff. I've not done a real video in a long time. I had intended to shoot one this evening, but it hasn't happened. So soon, I literally have, no word of a lie, 24 CGC slabs in a box right in front of me that's been here for nearly a month. I've got probably another 4 or 5 behind me that in boxes that I haven't opened, and a whole hallway full of comics. So I need to start making some videos to open them on. So it will happen soon. Like, there will be new content on the channel. It's just, I don't know when. We'll get to it. It'll happen. I've got to open up those CGC labs. Ugh.
Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to look forward to seeing any new videos with you and Mrs. Von Hoot and Magic Badger. I mean,
yeah, it's been a while. We took the summer off mainly because I was trying to work out how to do this Whatnot thing and like deal with that. But also, it just got so damn hot. Like, I was melting. So you can't do this if you're melting. So I need to get some more content going now. It's cooled down.
Y'all actually went to Italy too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We went to Italy. Actually, my best mate gave me a slab there as well, which I'll show off at some point. That was pretty cool. It was an EGS slab, which I'd never seen before, and
cool.
It was one of the who did the art? That's going to drive me nuts. It's a Green Goblin variant, basically. And it's a European exclusive. And I don't think he knew that. I think he just bought the slab because he thought it looked cool and he gave it to me. I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. It's glow in the dark and everything. So, yeah.
That's cool.
We went to Italy. I went to see Penn and Teller not long ago, which was really awesome. So I've done some fun stuff. It's just I haven't done any YouTubing in a little while. So I'm back. I'm back on the horse now. So cool. Let's go.
I'm glad to have you here tonight.
What I will say is, if you want to read my slasher movie reviews for /Tober, they'll all be on my Instagram account. So, like, I upload a different review every time I do another film. I've managed to watch a film every single day of October for the last 10 years. I don't always do the reviews on the same day though. So like they'll turn up eventually, basically is what I'm getting at. You will see the reviews.
Well, for me tomorrow, I'll be hanging out with Matt for just a little bit for his show. I'll have to log off at some point because at 6 o'clock tomorrow night I'm going over to my mom's house because it's my daughter's 24th birthday. So we're doing a birthday supper for her. And Jeremy's just
tell her I said happy birthday. The mouse says happy birthday.
Hey, Jeremy's my brother. This is how he finds out. I got to tell my dad. We're having a birthday dinner and cake and ice cream and all that for her. So Jeremy, you can come.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have chicken strips and French fries. So there's food to be had. And so that we'll have that. Now, like I said in the beginning, and I've been doing these Saturday shows every 2 weeks, and there won't be one in 2 weeks because of C3. I want everybody's attention on Comets Curing Cancer for that weekend. And then, but I will do a live show this Friday. And I tend to call my Friday shows "Hanging Out with Grandpa Starscream." So about 7 p.m. Friday night, we'll be doing another episode of Hanging Out with Grandpa Starscream. It'll be Halloween spooky theme based, where we're going to do. I'm thinking about doing possession. Well, actually, that might be pending now that I just remembered. He said we were doing Fright Night at 6 p.m. So if I do it, it will be on possession films, person, place, thing. Houses, cars, people, dogs. Just anything. Whether you read a book you weren't supposed to be reading, or playing a record backwards and bringing the spirit of a dead rock star back, or something like that. Something like that. But anyway, y'all, I want to thank everybody who watched the show. I want to thank Jeremy, Jeff, Matt, and DVH for hanging out in the panel. I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the chat. Everybody that's watching this on the replay, thank y'all. And y'all, like I said, you still got, according to my time, you still got 5 hours left to go to www.cbcawards.org to vote for the finalists of the CBC Awards. And we're going to catch y'all next time, and we're going to end it the way I always end it with Lone Star, and we'll see y'all Friday.
I wonder, will we ever see each other again?
Who knows? God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2, the search for more money.